We're going to Missouri and Boston College.
Gotcha.
Let's talk about the Mizzou Tigers, who have not let up a point this year. Jake, take us through this one.
Yeah, they haven't let up a point, but this is
Buffalo.
I was going to say, do we dare say this is the first legit test for Missouri? Now, I don't want to discredit
No, you can
Boston.
say that.
I don't want to discredit Boston College, but I mean, I think that I don't know. I mean, maybe I should take that back because Missouri's schedule is very light. So this could be a top 4 opponent they see this year coming to Columbia. The question for me and the question we had all offseason was, can Missouri replace the production in the pass rush for some of the guys that they lost to the NFL draft last year? Like we saw what Castellanos did against a really good, supposedly a really good pass rush in Florida State. You know, I think that it's still early. I think Florida State's pass rush is still better than Missouri's right now. We'll have to wait and see. So does Castellanos get to 75, 100 yards on the ground? He hasn't thrown the ball much this year. He's thrown 26 passes.
Yep.
He's completed 73% of them. So he's efficient, but he hasn't really thrown the ball a ton. If Missouri contains him, they're going to force Castellanos to throw. I think Bill O'Brien's done a nice job so far of kind of hiding some of the aspects in Castellanos' throwing game that's just not very good. So I think if they actually want to have a chance on the road here, they're going to have to throw more than 13 times a game. One matchup to watch, like Amari Jackson's probably the best defensive guy for Boston College. He's a cornerback. Watch him on Luther Burden and see how that develops as well. I didn't really even mention the offense if somebody wants to take that over for me.
It'll be interesting to see how Boston College handles their first competent and consistent quarterback this year, because you can't put that on DJU, that's for sure, especially the way he played in that game. I really don't know if Thomas Castellanos can do enough against this team and what this defense is doing. Like, they may not have played anybody, but this is a defense playing with all the confidence in the world right now. You haven't given up a single point through 2 games. Yes, I get who they've played, but still, that builds confidence within your unit. And I don't know if Boston College is at the point yet within their program, who's been ranked for the first time in forever, to go into an atmosphere like this in a schedule that we already talked about is favorable. So you got to think Missouri's just handling business on Saturday. JP.
I mean, are we just assuming anybody that beats Florida State's good now?
Yeah, that's a great point.
We're at the time of the year where
they did beat Duquesne too. Don't discredit Duquesne.
But it's like we're at the point of the year where like the number next to your name, and if you get a win, that team becomes ranked. And it's like that doesn't necessarily mean that team's actually a top 25 football team. Like we came into the year like, well, Bill O'Brien maybe a good hire there. It's going to work out. Castellanos isn't your pocket passer. Don't force him to be one. Let him kind of use his legs and be good. Jake touched on it. I literally wrote that down. I think he had 10 attempts in one and 16 attempts in the other game. We're at 26 times what we're going to throw the football. I understand you don't need to throw the ball against Duquesne and do anything crazy. But a lot of the completions, why it's so high, is they're not downfield passes. It's getting Trayshawn Ward out in space on the edge. They ran the wheel route on Florida State 2 or 3 times. They ran it again last week against Duquesne. Nobody's there to cover it. It's an easy 8-10 yard throw to a guy wide open with a ton of speed on the edge. Like Missouri, I feel like just has the ability to cover that. And if they don't get to the quarterback, Jake touched on, like if maybe Boston College is a little better I think they're good on the offensive line. I think Boston College is solid. But if the pass rush isn't there for Missouri, I mean, guys have to get open downfield. Missouri on the offensive side, Brady Cook's not a guy that's going to start turning it over all the time. I think Boston College is fine, but they're undersized on the defensive line. They have a good guy at corner, but there's a lot of weapons. And I think, like, we haven't even touched on the running backs for Missouri. Like, Nate Noel has been a great addition. I think they're more than happy with that right now, and I think they'll be more than happy to give it to him 20 times. They split the carries a ton between him and Carroll. And I think there's just looking at this is wear them down, just beat them where you can. Missouri's not going to go flashy on them, I would assume. It's going to be between the tackles and the play action and Cook's strengths, and then Castellanos make a play or two. But at the end of the day, it's just slowly going to fall away where they need to make a drive and they're not able to. So I'm so happy for Boston College that they are ranked and they're playing better and they've got a lot of confidence, because it's fun to have another ACC school, in the mix and getting talked about. And one that's, let's be honest about it, not at the top of the NIL thing. They don't have a ton of money within the program. It's not a school that's
a hockey school.
Football. They play hockey every once in a while. They're okay at basketball. They're pretty good at baseball. Like they're not a school that screams fall.
Let me fact check you there. They're horrendous at basketball normally.
I said every once in a while. Maybe 1 in 30 years, Jacob.
Remember that? I got to throw out that quote. You remember that kid who was asked at the end of the ACC tournament? They're like, he played for Boston College. They're like, what was your favorite memory?
Going out to eat.
Yeah. Going out to eat.
Hey, those are good memories. Going out to eat in college.
Pick a pot and pick a pizza.
But all right, Reese, give us your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I just don't know if Boston College has enough. You talk about Bill O'Brien going there, and it's been successful so far. But you talk about it being their first real test, and let's see what Missouri is going to be like. I think they're just going to have too much offensively. What's Boston College pass rush going to be like? Because I think with Burden and Cook and JB just mentioned the weapons in the backfield. I think Missouri, especially being at home too, I think it's a nice addition to have this. I just think they're going to have too much for Boston College to keep up with them.
I'll kick off roundtable style scoring here. I think Jake is frozen. If not,
I was going to say, is he trying not?
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing down there. It's a good angle at least to get frozen on. But I'll kick us off. I just think the turnover game is I think it's going to play a big role in this matchup. I think Castellanos turns it over a couple of times. Missouri rolls at home. It's a very fine-tuned machine, the Luther Burden and Brady Cook connection here. And I don't know if I trust Boston College's secondary enough consistently to stay within this game. So I got Missouri in this one by a lot. I like Missouri to win this one 41-17 at home and really open up the year. I mean, this is a SEC contender for a reason, people. JP.
Yeah, I would say this is just going to be one that just kind of grinds out to the end. Like Missouri's just going to be on them. Maybe Boston College gets an early touchdown. This one's like 17-7.5. You're like, hey, just put a drive together. You get the football right away.
Yeah.
And it just kind of slowly kind of grinds away. So I'm going to take this as 16.5, correct?
Yes.
I think Missouri covers. I think this one's like 31-13. I think there's a way that Boston College can find a way, but it's not a way. It's going to be bounce a ball. It's going to be something off. It's going to be bad turnovers. You're going to make a play or two. I think the tandem with Castellanos and Ward is great. They're going to make a couple plays on the ground. That's just the way this thing works out. But not enough downfield passing attack, not enough big plays to keep them in it all the way.
I like the way you said that one because I do think that it's a thing in college football that happens pretty consistently is let's say you're at a game or maybe the wife or girlfriend drags you out of the house to go to a store or something and you check your phone and it's mid-second quarter and it's like 10-3 Boston College and you're like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah.
Then you get home at 41-10.
Yeah. You're at Charlie's Philly Steakhouse in the strip mall and you look at your phone, you're like, oh damn, like okay.
Yeah, Boston College up 10-3 mid-second quarter. Like we got to get this on. And you
gotta get out of here.
Third quarter it's 41-10.
Exactly.
That's just college football in a nutshell. Reese, give us your score prediction.
I like where you guys' heads, and I think Missouri does cover this number. I'll go 37-17.
Okay, I like that. We'll go with Jake, hopefully taking Boston College to save us all, but he probably won't. I think he's going to be on Missouri.
We'll hold on that one.
Yeah, we'll get it back when he comes back. We'll give you a big pick because I'm sure actually people are waiting for it. The kid's on fire. I think he stands at 13-2.
13-2 through 2 weeks.
This kid is Bambino Bets at the moment, so when he gets back, we will ask him on this game.